Hello and welcome to the Wicca Academy. Today we will be discussing basic Wiccan signs and symbols to give you an introduction to Wicca, focusing on the traditional signs and symbols including the pentagram, pentacle, triple goddess, goddess, and horned god. If you are new to Wicca or just looking for a quick review, this is a great place to start. So what is Wicca? Wiccan emerged in the early 20th century, and its basic tenets involve combining ancient traditions, respect for nature, and psychic or intuition in a modern form. In the 1920s, British Egyptologist Dr. Margaret Murray claimed that women believed to be witches in Europe during the 15th through 18th centuries were in fact not Satan worshippers. She claimed they were actually followers of an ancient religion that predated Christianity. Following the publication of her thesis, the Wiccan religion gained popularity throughout England. Wicca combined aspects of magic, mythology, romanticism, and druidism in their practices and rituals. Since the 1920s, the religion continued to grow, gaining an international following. Today, practitioners believe in a deity inherent in the universe, which is manifested in all living entities. The divine is also present in gods and goddesses, which balance each other in nature. Wicca recognizes a spirit in every living being. These spirits are interconnected to all other spirits, forming a web of the divine in all living entities. A central tenet of Wicca is, if it harm none, do what you will. This simple statement forms the basics of ethics of Wicca, affirming the inherent right to freedom of action while acknowledging the responsibility associated with actions. Other central tenets include power through knowledge, progressive reincarnation, harmony, and serenity. Practitioners use a variety of methods to develop their spiritual lives, including dream interpretation, drawing on the moon, tarot, astrology, and palmistry. We will cover some of these in a future video on witchcraft practices and tools. Wiccans have faced discrimination based on the inaccurate belief that they worship the devil. Wicca does not worship Satan. In fact, it does not even acknowledge the devil's existence. While most Wiccans do not believe in the Judeo-Christian concept of God, they do believe in an ultimate deity. So what signs and symbols are most recognizable in witchcraft? We want to first start by saying that each individual Wiccan practice is as unique as the practitioners and covens utilizing the symbols. The inherent individualistic nature of each practitioner's faith and tradition makes this especially so. Furthermore, each instance of a practice or ritual may be tailored to the specific needs at that given time or season. The associated symbols and signs used within each practice or ritual is rich in symbolic meaning that is often only known to those within the particular coven or practice in question. There are, however, some basic and easily recognizable symbols that are associated with Wicca. Today we are going to cover some of these, including the pentacle, the pentagram, tri-goddess, and goddess. You may already be familiar with some of these, but the meaning and history behind some of them may surprise you. Pentagram. The pentagram is one of the most recognizable symbols in Wicca and witchcraft. The pentagram, also called a pentacle or pent-alpha, gets its name from the Greek penta, meaning 5, and gramma, meaning a letter. The pentagram is a symbol of a star, always with 5 points, one pointing upward, and each has its own meaning. The upward point of the star is representative of the spirit. The other 4 points represent an element: air, earth, fire, and water. Upright pentagrams have 1 point aligned upward, and an inverted pentagram has 2 points up. Both versions are used in spellcasting, and this is a very holy symbol in Wiccan and witchcraft. It is usually associated with femininity and knowledge. Some Wiccans have adopted the pentacle as the symbol of the goddess Morgan. It represents magical and talismanic properties. The pentagram is currently seen as a symbol for good and protection against evil. It's also a very old symbol. used in Babylon as evidenced in early Mesopotamian and Pythagorean records and writings. Many religions have used it, including Christianity. The symbol is also associated with Freemasonry. The golden ratio, often represented by phi, denotes the non-repeating, non-terminating number 1.618033988, and so on. The pentagram, as an intersection of 5 line segments, divides itself automatically in accordance to the golden ratio. Historically, tarot cards had a suit of coins or discs. These were changed to pentacles in the 19th century when the tarot became linked with the Kabbalah. They ultimately became the suit of diamonds in prevailing playing cards. The saying, "an apple a day keeps the doctor away," originates from the belief that the apple is symbolic of health, only because a transversely cut apple reveals a pentagram. The pentagram, as a symbol of fortune, has been found on Egyptian statues and Gaulish coins. The pentacle, on the other hand, simply means a pentagram enclosed in a circle. That's so far as the difference between the two go. Both the pentagram and the pentacle are two of the most powerful symbols in the world of Wicca and witchcraft. Tri-goddess. The tri-goddess symbol is denoted by 3 moons and is commonly seen on headpieces of high priestesses. This symbol typically represents the maid or maiden, mother, and crone as the waxing, full, and waning moon. It is associated with feminine energy, mystery, and psychic abilities. The maid, or maiden, represents childhood, adolescence, beginnings, purity, virginity, independence, courage. Mother represents motherhood, protection, fertility, growth, sexuality. Crone represents old age, wisdom, change, transformation, death, rebirth, banishing. These aspects may also represent the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth. Neo-pagans believe that this goddess is the personification of all women everywhere. Goddess and horned god. Traditionally in Wicca, the goddess is seen as the triple goddess. The mother aspect, the mother goddess, is perhaps the most important of these. Traditional Wiccans claim she was the ancient goddess of the witches. Generally speaking, Wiccan views are theistic and revolve around a goddess and a horned god. In traditional Wicca, the emphasis is on the theme of divine gender polarity, and the god and goddess are regarded as equal and opposite divine cosmic forces. One point of confusion for some people is that the terms in question are types of deities or titles of respect. Horned god is a type of godhead, not one specific god. Triple goddess is a type of goddess head, not one specific goddess, or a specific trio of goddesses. These terms are merely descriptions, not deities in themselves. Likewise, Lord and Lady are titles of respect by which we call any god or goddess. Respectively, Lord and Lady are not names. Zeus is one Wiccan's lord. Thor is another Wiccan's lord. Lu is another's, just as a Christian's Lord is Yahweh or Jehovah, though they call him Lord and God. The god and goddess are not specific deities that all Wiccans worship. They are simply the generic term for male deities and female deities, respectively. So my god that I worship may not be the same god another Wiccan worships, but I still refer to him as God, the God, or Lord. Some Wiccans see divinity as having a real external existence. Others see the goddess and gods as archetypes within the collective consciousness. In closing, just keep in mind the subjective nature of interpreting signs and symbols. Keep it light and fun. It's a playful spiritual practice rooted in tradition, but with enough freedom and flexibility to support spontaneity and improvisation too. Listen to your heart, and your intuition will guide you towards the signs and symbols that will best serve you on your path. We have tried to present these symbols universally. However, some Wiccans may disagree with some of our definitions here. This is to be expected, as each Wiccan's practice is as unique as their individuality. I hope you enjoyed learning about these basic Wiccan signs and symbols.